Goal. The only thing to be wary of is any potential gamesmanship from the injured player. But it seems pretty clear this wasn't a deliberate attempt to impede an opponent. The defender should have done what he's paid to do and played to the whistle. Welcome back to the Ref Show with David Hirst and Mark Halsey. We've got some championship games to talk about in this half, and also to wish best wishes as well to Michael Oliver for his big Champions League appointment in the coming week. And to top and tail the Premier League, nice to reflect on the RefCam report on Andre Mariner's game, which was Chelsea 3, Leicester 0. Some big calls, a busy one at times for Andre Mariner, but certainly Andy Hogg was impressed on RefCam. Were you?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I remember watching Andre a couple of weeks ago, Tottenham, Manchester City, and I remember going on the radio show speaking, we're talking about what a fantastic game it was and how, it was flowing, best game of the season, and I was just, hang on, we're not forgetting, what about the referee? He played his part, he wasn't fussy, he let the physical challenges go on, quite rightly so, and after, I think, a little dodgy start at the start of the season, I mean, he'd come in for a lot of criticism at Swansea, Chelsea with the Gary Cahill incident, and I thought he's refereed the last two games magnificently. So well done, Andre.
But that sums it up as it goes. By not mentioning him, you can tell he's had a good game.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to do. We want to talk about the football, not the referee.
Experts have the same thing, because when they're critical, it makes headlines. When they praise, it doesn't. So it's the same thing for you guys.
I think looking at Andre, I think, the first few weeks of the season, he was just one-paced. He was just ambling about the pitch. And all of a sudden, last two games, he's got a little bit of a sprint and in his step.
Is that his fitness that's up, and then he's got into the rhythm of the game?
Well, I think he's just most probably just going through the motions. And I think perhaps, the Gary Cahill situation give him a kick up the backside, and he thought, hey, listen, I'm better than this, and well done, Andre.
Yeah. On to Mike Dean, High Sheriff of Grappling. I keep saying that, I hope it'll catch on somewhere. We can't mention him without grappling. Indeed, there was a penalty awarded in his game, Southampton 3, Burnley 1. That was Burnley's penalty at the end, which kind of didn't affect things either way. But should Burnley have had a penalty at 0-0, Mark, in that game?
Without a shadow of a doubt, I think was it Van Dijk? Van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, Mike. I'm surprised because once again, Mike is an excellent referee and an excellent decision maker, but in this instance, he was in a great position and he just waved it away. But it was a nailed-on penalty, and it makes a massive difference at 0-0, doesn't it?
I don't like saying it. Is it too early for a penalty? That's the scenario.
20 minutes.
You know what I mean?
20 minutes.
And
It's not too early.
It's certainly not too early. It's never too early. But for him to do that, he's one of the top referees, as we know. A little bit of complacency, and referees do make mistakes.
Absolutely, but
we can't ask for them 100%.
I mean, it was
the ideal world's not there for him.
It was interesting with Sean Dyche talking about saying it was absolutely nailed on, and he said the one they got, it wasn't a penalty. That's what he said. But I mean, it was. I would say the score at 0-0. If Burnley put that away 1-0, it's a totally different game, isn't it?
Definitely.
Right. On to Roger East now. Rob Harris on RefCam covering Watford's 1-0 win at Middlesbrough reckoned there was some confidence issues with this referee, and certainly he has featured in some errors this season. His failure to, particularly was highlighted, his failure to send off Borough's Antonio Barragan for a second yellow card offence. Should he have gone?
I mean, I watched the game, and it looked like for me that it was a free-for-all. The players lost their trust with the referee, and all sorts was going on, and he just wasn't picking up. I think Rob was absolutely spot on. He looks like he's got a confidence issue. His recognition of foul, non-foul, careless, reckless, it was all over the place. And if we go back to a few weeks ago, the last game he refereed was the whole Arsenal game, where he allowed a penalty to be taken while the player he sent off was still on the field of play. And for me, that wasn't a sending off because it wasn't denying a goal scoring opportunity for handball. So I think looking at Roger, I think someone needs to get hold of him and pull him out of the limelight. Same with a little bit with John Moss. I think there's confidence issues there, and I think it's down to the select group manager and the coaches to instil that confidence in them. And when referees are like players, it's all about confidence. And sometimes you need an arm round you, you need a bit of loving. And I know that referees don't get that from the PGML. You need a bit of loving, or sometimes you need a little kick up the backside. And
players will pick up on that.
Of course they will.
Players will pick up. Managers will pick up. If you go in at half time and listen to the conversation in the dressing room, the referee will get mentioned. If he's having a bit of a bad game or he's making a few wrong decisions,
the guy's clearly
they'll jump
suffering,
on it.
and sympathy to Roger Rees, because it's an exposed position to be in.
He's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy, and I just feel for him. And you're absolutely spot on. Players, when players see the referee struggling and making the incorrect decisions, they lose their respect and they take matters into their own hands, as we saw on yesterday at Middlesbrough.
Right, let's go into the Championship. Some really huge games, and there always are at that level. A kick off with one on Friday night, which kind of may have gone under the radar, but didn't go under Andy Hogg's radar because he kindly alerted us. This was Nottingham Forest 3, Birmingham 1. Just as well, really, it finished that way, because Forest had an early goal incorrectly disallowed, as it turned out, on the intervention of a linesman. It had been given by Jeremy Simpson, the referee, who'd sort of taken the players back. And then assistant came in and said, no, it was offside. So it was disallowed, but on the replay, it wasn't offside. So,
well, I mean, to be fair to Jeremy, when a goal is scored and the assistant referee's flag goes up for offside, Jeremy's got no choice but to go with his assistant referee and disallow the goal for offside. So that's not the referee's call. That is down to the assistant, because the referee would be in no position to see.
The issue as to what extent assistants should come in, and we're all saying they should help.
Well, of course they should.
I mean, that's pretty much the assistant's job, though, isn't it? Offside.
Yes, right.
You know, so if he's saying he's offside, the referee's got to go, hold on a minute. He's the man in the position.
Graham Scott at Sheffield Wednesday's 1-0 win at Huddersfield. Pause. I think you both agree that he got the penalty decision right for the Wednesday winner from Fernando Forestieri.
Whether it was him who got the call on
this is it.
Or his assistant.
I was going to ask you. There was a pause. Did he get a shout?
There, yeah, exactly. I think he got a shout.
No, I don't know. I mean, well, I'm not sure where the assistant was on the near side, too far away, but he's most probably looked at it, thought about it, recognised it,
I think his thought process,
and gave it.
Because it was nearer the incident, and he run out of the box to the left-hand side and then paused and gave the penalty. Because I thought he'd give offside.
He replayed it in his mind. Is that what a referee will do? Replay it.
Maybe so, yeah.
Let's give him credit, okay? The shot goes in, he's looking at it, his arm's up, he's hit his arm. Is that deliberate and unnatural position? Yes, in my opinion, bang, penalty. Yeah. So let's give him credit.
It was just the time difference of the incident to the whistle. I thought there was another, because when he pointed to the spot, I thought he was pointing for offside.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't point for offside. You'd blow up and your arm would go straight up.
But he'd actually, this is what I'm saying. I don't. When it came from the assistant, but what he did,
it's the right one.
He got
the right call.
Right result. Yeah.
You took in Aston Villa 1, Wolves 1. I know you clocked this one. David Coote was in the middle. This was Saturday night game. Should Wolves have had a second penalty in that game?
Wolves should have had a second penalty. It was, I mean, only the referee, David Coote, can tell us why he never gave it. I think they were lucky on two other accounts where I thought Greeley should have been sent off for a stamp, and also how James Chester never got sent off for a second yellow card was beyond me, because it was a clear foul, a clear second yellow card, and the referee didn't even give a free kick. So.
Big game for one of the younger referees.
I mean, I think I've watched a number of games, and I think we seem to be struggling a little bit with Select Group 2. I mean, I watched James Lillington at Cardiff and Bristol City on Friday, and to be fair, I thought he had a decent game. I thought he'd done well. Just lacked a little bit of explosive sprinting and dynamic sprints into his game, bring that into his game, like Mark Clattenburg, because Mark Clattenburg's the best at it in getting into positions, and that will help James. But I thought Wolves were very hard done by on Saturday, I have to say.
Thanks, chaps, for your verdicts. Frank as ever and balanced as ever. David Hirst, Mark Halsey, good to have you on the show. And interestingly, Chris Wilder of Sheffield United could afford to take a tolerant view of the referee at Bramall Lane. Mark Hayward, incredibly there, Sheffield United scored 4 goals, 4-0 win. And they had 4 goals disallowed, which is a remarkable statistic. Referee apologised at half-time for an error. That's appreciated.
But were Sheffield United winning at half-time?
They were, 2-0.
Well, that's why he accepted it. I remember doing it with Mick McCarthy at Wolves when they were losing 1-0. He wasn't very happy.
That's a different scenario. We say goodbye while we're winning. I think 1-0 anyway. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, David. Thanks to you. See you next week. Bye.